Hi, Will Hamilton here, co-founder at smartpath.co. And this week we're going to talk about the one thing that you can focus on that's guaranteed to help you increase your cash flow inside your tax and accounting firm moving forward. So as a tax and accounting firm owner, there will always be a million different things that you can do to increase your profits and optimize your cash flow. But this is exactly the problem. So often we're overwhelmed with all the different options for what we could be doing. We stick with what we're doing for far too long. Then your profits suffer and you end up doing a bunch of monotonous work for clients that you really don't enjoy, and it doesn't move you closer to your goals. So the antidote for this analysis paralysis is focus. What's the one thing you can focus on inside your practice that will have the largest impact on your results next year? Well, I get this question very often from firms that we work with, and whether you have a roster of 50 clients or 5,000, whether your practice is in the Midwest or in downtown Manhattan, the answer is always the same. The one thing you can do right now that will have the most impact on your practice and your profits is educating clients about your value, and specifically providing better education for how clients can get the value that they want from you. Now, why is education about how your clients can get the value that they want, why is that the thing? Well, we know life changes for people every year, and the changes this year that people experienced were often significant and intense. So for most clients on your roster, whether they ever communicate it to you or not, they're thinking about how their relationship with your firm may or may not fit them moving forward. So if you can clarify that one question, how can I, as the client, get what I want from my tax and accounting professional in 2021? You, as the firm owner, can guard against any unwanted exodus of clients leaving your firm. You can ensure your time and energy is spent on the right clients that are willing to pay for your help. And you can have a simple and easy way to communicate your value to potential new clients, especially if you're operating in an area with a lot of competing practices. So those three outcomes, keeping the clients you have, spending your time on the right clients, and communicating your value to new clients, that will do more for your profits and your stress level and your cash flow than anything else you can focus on. And that's why client education is the one tactic that will lead to the greatest possible results. So how do we do it? What's the nitty gritty? How can you close the education gap that we see with clients? Well, education is teaching, and the best teaching really boils down to showing and communicating. So what we're going to do as the firm owner, we're going to educate our clients about how they can get what they want from us moving forward. We're going to show them and communicate with them. And we get that many firm owners are already busy. Tax season is just around the corner right now this time of year, so you have limited time, and we fully understand that. But you don't have to overcomplicate or overthink this step. The easiest way to show and then communicate to clients your value is through what we call a client guide. Now, a client guide educates clients by answering 6 key questions that they will want and need to know to see how working with you will give them what they want moving forward. Now, your client guide can be created and distributed one client at a time, or you can distribute it in bulk via email or by posting it on your website. And the best format for your client guide is usually a PDF because it's very easy for people to access and download regardless of whatever device they're on. Now, eventually you can also record a video of yourself reading through the PDF and distribute the video. But besides the format, the specific content that goes into your guide, that's what's really important. So that's what we're going to spend the rest of our time in this post talking about, is what needs to be in your guide. Research shows that over 80 to 90% of consumers want their tax accountant to provide more clarity regarding their products and services before being asked to make any type of buying decision. And we can understand that, right? You understand taxes and accounting. This is completely foreign to most clients. So they need more information in order to make a decision. And so your client guide is going to provide clarity by answering the right questions that your clients are already asking themselves, whether they're bringing it up to you or not. So here's what your client guide should include. We're going to break it down into 6 specific questions. And each question, the answer is going to be a section inside of your guide. So the first big question that we have to answer is what other options do I have for working with you inside of your firm? Every thinking person in today's economy is looking to see if they can improve their financial options, your clients included. And because of this, tax and accounting firms with the best cash flow right now are giving clients two options for engaging with the firm. Now, why just two? Just like you, your clients are busy, they're stressed, and they can be completely overwhelmed when they're presented with too many options. Decision fatigue is a real thing, and we're all suffering from it right now. So when you show clients the traditional laundry lists of services that most firms have on their website, personal income tax, business income tax, accounting, payroll, audit protection, entity analysis, accounting system setup, business advisory, IRS resolution, all of these things that we list, it is completely overwhelming to the client. The client doesn't know where to even begin, and many times they'll just give up instead of contacting you to try and figure it out. We've been tracking tax and accounting pricing data for over a decade, and firms can service 90% of their clients with just two main offerings if they set up their offerings the right way. Now, it doesn't mean you won't have other offerings that you can provide to a client to meet, unique needs when they arise, but it does mean you're going to focus your client guide on two main options for working with your firm so that clients can easily and quickly understand your value. And so here are the two main options for getting clients help. That should be the first section of your client guide. You're going to have a reporting only option, and you're going to have a year-round planning option. Now, in your reporting only option, the client is paying for historical compliance filing and reporting only. So they're paying for their tax return or they're paying for transactional accounting. And the focus of this engagement is reporting what has already happened in the past, right? The 2020 year is over. Now you're reporting to the IRS in 2021 what happened the previous year. It's looking towards the past. And so you're preparing and filing based on the data that they provide you. During tax season in this option, the client receives a brief summary call or email to discuss the results of their tax filing. But a lot of times for the majority of your clients, there's no need for a long tax season appointment to complete the reporting because there's only so much that you can really do or account for now that the season is already done. So the goal of your first option, your reporting only option, is efficient and effective filing, nothing else. Now compare that to your year-round planning plus reporting option. In this option, the client is paying for year-round planning to realize the best possible results. And so the focus of this engagement is planning for better results in the future. You're preparing and filing their taxes and your accounting based on data that you've tracked all year and that you've gathered all year, and you've analyzed it, you've managed it throughout the year. So during tax season, they're also going to receive a brief summary call after the tax filing, but they're also going to receive those year-round touches. They're going to receive those meetings, that phone call in the summer, that year-round advice, because you're working together to plan. And so the goal in the year-round planning option is proactive action planning and execution throughout the year so that there's no surprises and better results than the client could achieve on their own. If you'd like to dive deeper into this two-option approach, we teach a 90-minute masterclass on how to use this approach to increase your cash flow, so we're not going to get into it any deeper here. You can access that recording as part of the post that goes with this content. So how can you communicate these two options in your guide? You can simply say something like, we now have two options for working together, so you can make sure every dollar you invest with us provides you the specific help you care about most. Our easy reporting option helps you quickly and easily meet your filing requirements with the IRS and state so you can have more time to do the things you enjoy doing. Our year-round planning plus reporting options combine all your traditional filings with our proactive planning process so you can achieve the best possible outcomes in your business and your financial life. So that's your first section, mapping out to the client that you have two ways that you can work with them, either just reporting what happened in the future or planning for better results, reporting what happened in the past or planning for better results in the future. And those are their two options that they can get. Now, the second section of your guide is going to talk about which option is the best for me. So now that they understand both options, now you're going to help them understand which option may best fit their needs. And so this section is going to help them self-identify how complex their needs are and what specific phase they're at in their life and their business, so that they can then self-select which option is going to be best important to them and what's going to fit. So here's an example of how you can communicate that in your guide. Our easy reporting option is perfect for clients that earn most of their income from a W-2 job, do not have significant real estate or investment holdings, or aren't at a stage in their life where you want an advocate to help you plan for the future. Our year-round planning plus reporting option is perfect for anyone who is self-employed, has multiple streams of income, has real estate or other investments, and wants to pay the absolute least amount of tax possible through proactive planning. We combine all your traditional filings with our proactive planning process so you can achieve the best possible outcomes in your business and financial life. So that's your second section. Now, the third section needs to answer the question, when should I, as the client, select which option I want? And this section educates clients about when they should move forward with an engagement with you. Now, most firms offer open enrollment where the client can select or upgrade their option at any time based on your availability. Then they align the structure of the client fees based on the time of the year that the client gets started. So here's an example of how you communicate this in your guide. We only have so many year-round planning spots available, so if you're interested in that level of service, please let us know as soon as possible. Once you upgrade to a year-round planning option, we won't have to bill you yearly anymore. You'll invest a simple monthly fee to cover our work together. There may be setup or cleanup costs necessary to get you healthy enough to qualify for the planning process, but we will discuss those with you before your enrollment. If you wish to downgrade to a reporting-only option, there may be a one-time fee equal to any work already completed for you that year. So that's the third section where you help them understand when they can get started. Now, the fourth section is going to talk about why should I work with you over any other firm? And this is obviously a very important section. Here, you need to be brutally honest about today's current environment. Clients need more help than ever, and the reality is you cannot help everyone, but you are doing your best to help the clients that want and need year-round planning help. And so here's an example of how you can communicate this in your guide. We all see how drastically the world around us is changing. The speed and the amount of changes in the future will only increase, and the way many tax and accounting firms operate no longer creates the best results in this environment because they're only looking towards the past. Our approach ensures we can give clients the help they want and the results they need. By selecting one of our two options, we can focus our time and attention together on achieving the exact value most important to you, aligned with a process that will be beneficial and profitable for us both. So that's the fourth section, helping them understand why they should work with you. Then the fifth section, we're going to talk about costs. What is the investment? What's the pricing? What's the cost? And in this section, we don't need to promise an exact price, but you do need to provide a range and then educate about what factors could cause their investment to go up or down. So here's an example of how you would communicate that in your guide. Your pricing, Mr. or Mrs. Client, will be based on your specific needs. Here's what to know about our pricing so you can make the best decision for you. Our reporting only option averages about $300 to $1,000 a year for individuals that don't own a business. For business owners, it averages between $700 and $3,000 plus, depending on the complexity of your tax return. Our year-round planning option averages around $59 to $199 a month for individual clients and $199 to $999 a month for businesses. Your exact investment could be more based on the complexity of your needs, the number of services that you require, and how much planning we both agree to in the upcoming year. So those are just examples of some pricing options that you could give. Obviously, you want to make sure that your guide is aligned with your specific pricing structure. Now, the last section, section 6, you're going to talk about how do I get started. So you want to answer for that question for the client so that it's crystal clear what steps they need to take so that they can see in their minds exactly how to get started and exactly how to get the help that they want. So here's an example of how to communicate this in your guide. Step 1, contact the office and we'll review your specific situation and verify which option may be best for your needs. Step 2, we'll discuss your pricing and agree on an engagement that perfectly matches your goals. And step 3, you'll enroll in one of our options. We'll get started with pain-free reporting or start the planning process for the best possible results. And so that's it. Those are the 6 sections that you need to create a powerful client guide that will answer the questions you need to answer so that you can really increase your cash flow moving forward. Now, let's talk about creating your guide. Your client guide needs to look professional, but it doesn't have to be 50 pages long. It doesn't have to be overly designed. You can just start with version 1 and then improve it over time. And you can obviously write it and design it yourself, or you can hire someone to create it for you. As part of this post, we're going to give you a client guide checklist that you can download so that you can get started on creating your guide yourself. If you want help, we can actually create and customize a guide for you as well. Our SmartPath Plus and Accelerator plans include a customized client guide as part of your enrollment with us. And so if you would like to discuss getting some help with creating your guide, just use the link that we include in this post and schedule time to talk with us. We'd love to talk about your specific needs. But whether you create your guide on your own or you get help from us or anyone else, here's the most important takeaway about this post. Creating a client guide will increase your pull-through with clients wanting to continue working with you moving forward because it's going to answer the 6 key questions that they're having right now, whether they're talking about it with you or not. Over 90% of firms do not have a tool like a client guide. So when you create this, you will immediately separate yourself from the competition and start attracting the type of clients that you want to work with moving forward. And it will be worth whatever time and whatever investment that you can give it this year. Thanks so much for listening to this post. Please access the post materials to get started on your own, and we'll see you in the next one.